Hello and welcome to Prairie Pulse. Coming up a little bit later in the show, we'll profile Roseau, Minnesota artist Sarah Trangsrud. But first, our guest is Executive Director of the Arts Partnership, and Dana Delval. Dana, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
As we get started today, Dana, tell the folks a little bit about yourself and your background.
Well, I'm a North Dakota native. I was born in the southwestern part of the state in Bowman, and grew up in Wahpeton and then moved to Moorhead and now live in Fargo. So I've really spent the bulk of my life in North Dakota.
So you have, okay. But how did you come to be the director of the Arts Partnership?
I was a freelance actor and writer and a sometimes part-time college professor. And the job came up, and Linda Boyd from the Symphony contacted me and said, I think maybe you should consider applying for this. And I was kind of crazy enough to say yes, and they were crazy enough to take me.
Now, how long have you been there?
2.5 years.
Okay, 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. So tell us, for everybody out there, what is and what's the history of the Arts Partnership?
Well, a lot of people know the Arts Partnership by its previous name, which is the Lake Agassiz Arts Council. It was started in 1970. Richard Nixon started the NEA, National Endowment for the Arts. And when the federal government contacted states to say there'll be federal funding coming for arts, states contacted big cities. And so that was sort of the beginning of the Lake Agassiz Arts Council. And then 5.5 years ago, they changed the name to the Arts Partnership.
Mm-hmm. What's been the primary role for the Arts Partnership in the community?
Well, I think the easiest way to explain it to people who don't really understand it is that we're kind of like the United Way for the arts. So we're an umbrella organization. We have 90 plus artists, arts-related businesses, and arts nonprofits under our umbrella. So while I have no jurisdiction over any of those groups, they all live under us. We regrant city dollars to the area nonprofits. We work to communicate about the arts and culture in general, and then to specifically talk and promote these 90 plus artists and arts organizations.
Now, okay, 90 plus artists I got here, and we'll come back maybe to that, but so how is it funded? How does it work?
The bulk of our funding comes from the 3 cities, primarily from Fargo, but Moorhead and West Fargo also pay us annual money, and then we regrant 60% of that through a formal granting process. And the reason that works so well is it means arts organizations are not going to the city to ask for funding. So it's a one-check process for them, and it allows all 3 of them to support arts programming and arts organizations throughout the Tri-Cities. And then we also have the primary partners, the artists and arts organizations, pay dues, annual dues, and then we have another group called Advocate Partners, which are arts supporters.
Oh, and yeah, but you said 60% of, I think, funding, or your funding you get is regranted to arts organization and artists individually, or?
City funding only goes to nonprofit arts organizations. Okay. We have another pool of money that we just started being able to regrant to individual artists this past year.
Okay, so that is. So talk about some of the initiatives the organization has going on.
Well, probably the initiative that everybody knows about most, which is a little bit older now, was the Heard About the Prairie organization. All of the bison that are around town were done under the previous executive director, Martha Keeler-Olson, when they were the Lake Agassiz Arts Council. But we have been very fortunate. We started a program this past year called Community Supported Art, which is modeled on the Community Supported Agriculture model. So 50 shareholders bought shares of art, and over the course of 3 parties got 9 pieces of original art. I'm sorry to say that is not a program we initiated, but we purchased it from an organization in St. Paul and adapted it to fit our community. So we'll make that an annual event now because it was wildly successful and a really fun project for us to work on. We're also responsible for the newspaper Arts Pulse. So people who see that at coffee shops, restaurants, hotels, arts organizations, that's ours. And then we really just work to promote the work of other arts organizations. We don't do a lot of our own programming. We're really there to sort of be an amplifier for the arts and culture in these communities.
How does a program initiative, I heard about the Prairie, we're obviously familiar with it, Prairie Public, since we did a little bit of documentary work on that, but was that a project who came up with the idea? Does it come from the organization, the Arts Partnership comes up with an idea and finds funding and helps promote it, or is it an idea artists come to you and you work together, or how does that work?
Well, in that case, that was a private donor who came to Martha. But in other cases, certainly we're open to dialogue. We're always looking for ways to create reciprocal relationships that can get artists into communities and community people excited about and benefiting from art, whether that's businesses or individuals. So we're constantly looking for ways to do that, and artists can approach that, individual people can approach that, businesses, however it works out. Sometimes we come up with things too.
Yeah, you mentioned primary partners. What types of organizations and artists are primary partners?
Well, almost any arts organization in town you can think of belongs under us. The Symphony, the Opera, Watercolor Society, the FMVA, the Plains Art Museum, the Rourke Historical Cultural Society of Clay County. So really all of the arts organizations, and then we are growing our individual artists. There hasn't always been a lot of reciprocal relationship with them, but we're really working to change that. So Brad Bachmeyer, Michael Strand, Amber Noel Parsons from Midwest Mud, Chelsea Thorson. So lots of artists. You can find them on our website if you're curious.
So how do you become a primary partner? Is it just raise your hand?
You apply, and then my board votes on them.
Okay.
It's an easy one-step, one-page application. It can be done online, sent to us electronically, and it takes just a little bit of time for the board to vote. But we're trying to grow our partnership, but we're also trying to be strategic about how we grow so that people who are on the list feel good about being on the list.
Sure. And what if you're not an artist, but you're an appreciator or a spectator of arts? Or,
well, I can tell you from an artist perspective that without appreciators, it's really no point in doing a lot of art. So we definitely are interested in anybody who's interested in supporting the arts. Those people are called advocate partners. And you can send me money at any time. I'm happy to take it.
Well, you mentioned Arts Pulse. What is Arts Pulse, and how is it related to the Arts Partnership again?
Well, Arts Pulse until July of 2012 was a 6 times a year newspaper. And then we were very fortunate. We created a new position. So now there are 2 of us full-time in our office plus an admin. So Chris Kurzman is our full-time digital media producer. So he has taken the concept of a newspaper 6 times a year, which could not be very responsive and really has a huge lead time, and turned it into a kind of all arts, all the time digital presence. So there's a blog, there's a Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, video. We've got some interns who are creating some pieces for us. So now there's a weekly newsletter that goes out electronically. You can subscribe to that through our website. Now people are able to call in and say, you know what, we've had this incredible opportunity show up and it's being unloaded today, can you come? And Chris can be there, and we're able to really react fluidly and quickly to the art as it's happening.
Well, with everything you've said, it may be obvious, but what is the mission of the Arts Partnership?
The mission is to cultivate the value of the arts in the community. And so we do that by trying to promote artists, by trying to create relationships, by trying to help people understand the economic value of an arts community. Strong arts is almost always a good indicator that you have a strong community. And so, we're very fortunate in the state and in the city to have an incredibly strong economy, and the arts play a big part of that.
So what have been some of the challenges of running this organization?
Well, we don't produce anything. So I think, if you have a gallery opening or you have a performance, you can promote that thing and you can invite people to it. We're much more about the idea of art and its value and its importance. So it's a little bit hard to wrap your head around what it is you're investing in. But what I tell people is you're investing in a better community. It's a way to attract people, attract businesses, keep people, keep college kids here. Retired people are moving here all the time from the West, to keep them here, to engage them, to just be a much more vibrant, positive community.
You talk about the arts, and mostly you're talking about 3 cities, but the arts go beyond that very much so. But what is the state of the arts in the Fargo-Moorhead, West Fargo region or area at this point?
It's fantastic. I would say, in a time where anytime you look at arts programming throughout the country, symphonies are being cut and galleries are closing and people are really struggling. Theater companies are closing like plagues. We've lost 1 arts organization in the last 4 years during this economic downturn. So we have really been fortunate to live in a community that understands the value of the arts and also supports the arts.
Yes, and now expand out a little bit. And how much do you really get an opinion of what's going on in the region? In our what we call the Prairie region.
Well, I would say that because North Dakota is a small state and we're one of 4 entities similar to us in the state, we're fairly in tune with what's happening. And I think across the state, the arts are really thriving. People are either choosing to stay in the state or they've gone away and they're coming back, because the quality of life is so high and because who else has the kind of budget surplus that we have and the potential for support that we have. So really, I would say across the board, top to bottom, we have pretty phenomenal art happening in this state.
Do you get the opportunity to visit with other organizations throughout the United States, or is it more regionally?
It's pretty regional. I think there are certainly opportunities, but they're expensive, and we try to keep our money channeled back to supporting our artists rather than sending me hither and yon.
And the reason I was kind of setting it up to ask, do you think that the oil industry and the fiscal opportunities we've had here in our state versus many other states, is that helping the arts in our state?
Not really. I think it could, but I think when you have a conservative legislature, I think you have to work harder to make the argument, and I'm hopeful that we will be able to rally as an arts community statewide this year and have some slightly more meaningful conversations with our legislators and see if we can't start to make that argument. Minnesota is an incredible example of getting them to invest. Even in hard times, that money is lock safe. So we'll see what we can do.
Okay. Let's a couple of questions about you personally, if you don't mind. Radio listeners of Prairie Public have heard you as guest host on Hear It Now. Can you talk about how you got involved with that and how did you like it?
Oh, I loved it. I was in the fortunate position to have a job I love and get to do a job that I really felt lucky to get to do. Skip Wood, who produces it, tracked me down one day. I had been a guest a couple of times, and he just said, "What are you doing on Tuesday?" And I sort of stupidly said nothing, and he said, "Great, you want to host Hear It Now?" And so I think I hosted 12 times over the summer between Meryl and Doug, and it was a real treat. I met some fantastic people and found myself in some challenging situations from an acting perspective. To have to be unscripted was it was a treat.
Well, now you mentioned being an actress, so tell us about the work you do. I understand you do stage and film work?
I do. Mostly commercial work.
Commercial work, okay.
I'm not opposed to film work. If you're out there and looking for me, I'm here. Yeah, I've been very fortunate. I have a lot of friends who live on both coasts, and I will tell them, and tell them frequently, I have a much better career than they do. I get to be a great big fish in a pretty small little pond. So I was the initial legendary face of North Dakota. That commercial ran for a while, and have just been very fortunate. I'm the voice of many, many banks throughout the state.
Well, with that said, you sort of said you like it, but is it difficult to be an actress in this area? Because you said you think of the coast when you think about being an actor and actress. Yeah. And do you? It sounds like you get maybe enough work, although you're always looking for more.
Always looking for more. Yes, if the Coen brothers, are listening. No, it is difficult. It's there's not incredible pay. I have been very, very fortunate, but I don't know a lot of people who can say they have made the kind of successful career I have made. But I'm also older. Old is a relative term, and I've been doing it a long time. So I can't quit my day job and be a full-time actor, but it's been great.
Well, how did you get involved with that?
I did my first play when I was 6, and I just have never really quit. I have a theater degree from MSUM, and I just took off from there.
Now, MSUM seems to have a great film study opportunity, and a lot of folks come out of there, and they've even worked at Prairie Public and others. Yep. So I don't know if what can you comment about that school and their dedication to that?
I would say all 3 colleges are producing really strong actors, and the 2 colleges, or the Morehead State's film program is really producing great kids, and I guess Concordia too, sorry. But they're really doing pretty meaningful work that's winning awards at regional film festivals and all kinds of things. So I think it's a good time for the arts locally and regionally.
Well, all right, let's turn back to the arts partnership for a little while, and let's talk about what are your goals, what are your hopes for the organization and moving forward, and I don't know if you have a 3-year plan or things change pretty quickly.
They do change quickly. One of my big goals is to increase the funding that we can give to arts organizations. I think it's important that we be able to provide them enough assistance that it really is meaningful to them. I think every dollar that we get from the city matters, and every dollar we send on matters to those organizations. But I would really like to see us be able to give pretty substantial grants so that people can really invest in their own organizations and begin to make some real meaningful change because of that. And then I would like to see our arts community have a more unified voice. And I think that the great thing about the Arts Partnership is we represent all art. So we don't have to be genre specific or type specific. We really can speak about and with all art. And so I hope that we can help guide that conversation a little bit and unify the arts community.
You talked about your grants and things. I mean, what's a typical grant size, or
$3,000 to $5,000.
$3,000 to $5,000 is given, and is there any restrictions on the type of, or is it just approved by the board? I mean,
No,
what's the process?
You have to be a Fargo-Moorhead or West Fargo 501c3.
Okay.
You have to fill out a relatively rigorous grant, and then it has an 8-person board who takes their role very, very seriously. We meet and have supper together and hash out who gets what, and it's not as rigorous as I would like it to be, but it's we're trying to spread those dollars as broadly and as carefully as we can, because we really value that the city gives us those dollars and we want to be responsible with them.
With that, I mean, how many grants do you give out in I don't know if you count
We
it
do
by
it
quarter,
annually.
by year?
No, annually, and this year we gave 26 grants for a total of $66,000.
26 grants, $56,000. You also talked about your staff size. So you've got a small staff.
We do.
Probably operate pretty.
We're pretty lean. We're lean and mean.
I was going to use that phrase, but you're doing a lot of great things from what I understand. So that's.
Well, you know what? It's a really great job. I feel really fortunate. Just about every day I go to work, I kind of can't believe I got this job, and I can't believe the work we get to do and the people we get to spend time with. So I feel fortunate.
Well, how can other people get involved with the Arts Partnership?
Well, we have some committees that people can volunteer for that are not necessarily board commitment. And then you can just let me know you're interested. We have an organization that kind of started as a side piece of ours called the Green Purse Group, started by a couple of women in town, and they're interested in helping people figure out how they can volunteer if they're interested. So if you fill out a Green Purse form and send us your $25 dues, it goes into their pot of money. They hope to start re-granting to individual artists, do some micro-granting, and then also start a database of people who, will go stuff envelopes for nonprofits or usher or all the kinds of things that so many arts organizations need, because we're all understaffed at the end of the day.
And when you talk about that, your time commitment usually is what people shy away from, because their time's valuable.
Right.
But so it sounds like you're saying there's different levels to get involved with.
There are, and I am happy to work with anyone in any capacity, really, who's interested in helping. When I first started, we threw 2 parties a year. Now we're throwing about 9. So if you really love to buy matching plates and napkins, that's a way you can help.
Okay, so there are many ways. How does the Art Partnership fit? And we talked about into the statewide art scene.
How does it fit?
How does it fit?
Well, we live under the North Dakota Council for the Arts. We get funding from them. And so while we're our own entity, we really sort of work in conjunction with them. And then there's one in Grand Forks, one in Minot, and one in Bismarck that do similar but slightly different things than we do. So I would say we try to cover the state through these 4 offices and try to be responsive to the growth and to the advocacy and to the communication and to the trends and to helping people who have no idea how amazing the art in North Dakota is begin to understand that.
I don't know, it sounds like you've got friends all over the nation, and because people do, when you start talking about Fargo, Moorhead area, they don't think there's much here.
No, people are always stunned. A great example, Marianne Combs from Minnesota Public Radio came up, and I spent 3 days with her, and she could not believe the art we have. I say to people all the time, we have more art than we have a right to expect. I mean, we really do. It's an incredible problem that you can't get to everything. Well,
that's great. Finally, if people want more information about the Arts Partnership or to get involved, where can they go? Who can they contact?
theartspartnership.net, and you can always call me, 237-6133.
Dana, thanks so much for joining us today,
John.
And best of luck.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for more. Sarah Jo Trangsrud has always loved to play in the dirt. Now she has taken that love and incorporated it into a style of pottery that reflects her passion for the outdoors and organic shapes. See how she takes an ordinary rhubarb leaf and transforms it into something special.
Art gave me a release because I was so nervous as a child. I think it gave me a release where I could do things that I was actually good at. I usually start with going out to the rhubarb patch and looking at my leaves. I grew up with rhubarb leaves. You know, we played with rhubarb leaves. We did stuff with rhubarb leaves when we were growing up. I need to find two similar leaves. Of course, no two are alike. And I look for a leaf that kind of spikes my creative interest. I need a leaf also that will lay somewhat flat, because if it's too much wavy, then you can't get it laid down into the clay. The first time I got an inkling to use clay is I bartered with a friend. She made the cement leaves, which I'm sure most people are familiar with out of rhubarb. And I looked at that and I thought, it's so heavy and clumsy. It's beautiful, beautiful, but I don't want it to be so heavy. I thought, I can do clay. And I have to do some trimming on the veins, because if the veins are too thick, they will press all the way through your clay, and then you don't have a leaf, you have bits and pieces of mess. One leaf is pressed in, I flip it over, and I actually devein the second leaf of the big veins, press it in, and then I lay it into whatever form I decide I'm going to be using with that particular leaf. I always liked dirt and growing things, you know, and I think the clay lets me express that passion. I learned a lot in the production pottery, you know, learning more discipline actually there. You know, in college they emphasize the creative more, and when I worked at the production pottery, I learned more discipline. I just kind of ease it down into the bowl. It kind of somewhat decides on its own which way it wants to flip, and somewhat I decide it needs to go one way or another. Don't want any real deep creases. I allow them to dry. I pick some of the leaf out. What doesn't come out comes out, burns out in the kiln. Then I get to decide what colors these leaves are going to get. They don't have to be green. They can be red, they can be blue, they can be combinations. And I pick the colors that I want to go on the leaf, and I glaze, and I usually use the pouring method just to let it flow in with the leaf so it has kind of a growing, flowing feel to it. I don't know, a lot of it's trial and error. You know, you try something, it didn't work, well, what did work? You know, some glazes work better with other glazes that, you know, because I do a lot of glaze overlay. And you get wonderful things, and sometimes they're not wonderful, but you learn then from it. Sometimes there's some glazes that work better underneath, some work better on top, some don't work together at all. I realized I could melt glass in this and make it look like water running down into my leaf, and it just, one thing added to another, and I went from flat leaves to more rounded leaves. I can throw on the wheel, and I can do other hand-built things, but you know, when I can use something that has grown with the clay and create something with it, that's when I feel the passion. When I put the pieces into the kiln, I teeter pieces of broken glass where I feel like water would flow. If you get too high with the glass, it starts dissipating and makes kind of a weird charred look in your pot. You know, if you get the right temperature, it has this wonderful flow. Then it gets fired again, and it's like Christmas every time I open the final firing, because you never know for sure if it's going to work exactly how you planned. It usually doesn't, but usually it's wonderful. It's therapy. You know, you have the self-gratification that you've made something beautiful. There's something for me about digging in dirt, playing in the clay, that just makes me feel good. And that's kind of a therapy for me too. I really enjoy seeing it done, but one of the joys is seeing how other people react to them. You know, they see these leaves and they go, wow, is that real water? That's one of the first reactions. They want to touch, they're scared to touch the glass, but they want to. I say, oh, go ahead and touch it. And that's not water. You know, they expect it to be water in the bottom of these leaves, and it's glass. And then, you know, just watching their reactions to the different colors and shapes. The passion evolves into the next thing. And who knows what will be next. You know, it keeps evolving, you know, and it's kind of a journey. And it speaks a little bit of my story, I guess.
Well, that's all we have on Prairie Pulse for this week. And as always, thanks for watching.
Funding for Minnesota Legacy programs are provided by a grant from the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4th, 2008, and by the members of Prairie Public.